Hi everybody, so you've got your lovely shiny brand new DayZ console server for PlayStation and Xbox and or PC as well, and you want to know how do you control access to it. So let's go in and let's look at some options and look at the sort of naming options as well. Of course we're using Nitrado as an example here because on console that's the only server provider we have because they have a special deal with Bohemia Interactive, the devs behind DayZ. So go to your Nitrado dashboard, go to your particular server, and you want to click on the web interface. And this will take us into the like the control panel, if you like, for our server. And the bit we want to look at is settings general. So we click on that. And this is the real basics now. So at the top we've got mission, which Churner is plus. If it was Livonia, the alternative map, it would be Enoch. And the first way that you can kind of control access is through the name of your server. So for example, this one, 1C Scale Speeded Gaming PlayStation. So if people know the name of the server, you know, they can find it and they can go into it. But again, once that name's out there and it's public. Now, when you go into the community server browser on DayZ on your PlayStation or Xbox, you'll notice there's thousands of servers and you can get into a kind of an arms race to get your server to the front of the list, because people like to have full servers. However, right now, right at the beginning, I would say don't have a private server, a community server. Don't pay the money for a community server with the idea that you're going to be able to create something that people will flock to because it's at the top of the page on the community server browser. Create the server because it's somewhere where you want to play, and then if you're lucky you can then also create a community of people around you, whether that be friends or people you've met on DayZ, who will then come to your server and enjoy it. However, most servers, 99% of the servers, are very low pop, very low population. They don't have many people on them, and even those with lots of people on them, that can bring its own sorts of problems in itself. So as you can see here, actually I don't use a password on my server, and the reason is because I use a whitelist. So on console we have a very easy way of controlling access to our servers, and that is with a whitelist, which is down here. So the whitelist is just the usernames of players from their PlayStation username or their Xbox username. They email you, they message you, they give you their username, and you put it into the whitelist, and then you save that and you restart the server, and that is a rock solid way of preventing other people getting onto your server. The problem with the password, or any password, is that it can get passed around, can't it? A password can just be spread from person to person, giving anyone access. But if you use the whitelist, it means that they have to be on that list. Their Xbox username has to be on that list. Their PlayStation username has to be on that list in order for people to have access to your server. And that's a very powerful way of doing it. Now, occasionally the system kind of breaks down a little bit and you'll find whitelisted players won't be able to get in. But that normally sorts it out pretty quick. The most common problem is that people will have alternative accounts on their PlayStation and Xbox, and they'll log in the wrong one, and they'll try and get into the server, and they'll be like, I can't get in. So at that point you say, well, can you please check your username and make sure you're using the right one. Now, if you want to on your server, obviously you can allow people to have access with alternative accounts, and you just have to add those accounts to your whitelist, and then you can put people on there. Now you've also got a ban list as well. Now when you're using a whitelist, ban list isn't particularly useful because if they're not on the whitelist, they're not getting in anyway. But maybe it's something you could, if you come across some bad people who you want to make sure they never ever get back on again, they never ever sneak back in again, then you can make sure you could add them to the ban list, so that if you forget the names, then you try and add them, then that you'll be able to see they're on the ban list. So there we go. So that's how you control access to your server. Choose a unique name that people will be able to remember and then easily type into their server browser on their Xbox or PlayStations. Don't go with a password, go with a whitelist, and then take people's PlayStation and Xbox usernames, pop them in there, save, restart, and it's a foolproof way of getting in. Oh, the other thing I would say is it's a very simple way as well. It means that when people go to join your server, if they're on the whitelist, they don't have to try and enter a password, using their Xbox or PlayStation controller, which is a right pain in the bottom, isn't it? You're just straight in and you're cracking on, and they're enjoying your server. So there we go. Now, if you find these videos useful, hit like and obviously subscribe. But what I'm really interested in is questions. So if you've got questions about running a server, installing a server, modding a server, anything to do with DayZ servers, whether it be console or PC, put them in the comment section below the video, and I'll add them to my list of videos to do, because that's really what drives the content on this channel. It's people asking questions and me either knowing the answers and making a video about them, or finding out the answers and making a video out of them. Brilliant. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.